Here we go. Let's get it started. Cardio chat number 7. Woo! We made it to 7. Excellent. Too bad not 7 in a row, but still 7. Not bad. Just starting out here. Just starting out. So I had some requests on a few topics. So I'm going to go over some of that. What's up, Scotty? What's up, babers? And we'll go over some of that stuff. But I was watching, I wanted to check the last video to make sure like the lighting was alright and that the quality of the wireless connection was okay. So I was watching it and I was cracking myself up. So if you're not being entertained, you have no soul. You have no funny. What up, cuz? What's going on, Grim? Give you a chums up. Chums up. Let's start it early here. Let's pick it up. So a friend of mine, what up, man? What's going on? Kiona, what's happening? So a friend of mine wanted me to talk about something that she saw. Thank you for the love. Thank you. What's up, Big Chris? Before I start, actually, yo, Chris, totally forgot you were off work yesterday. I'm legit sitting on my front porch like a little kid waiting for the bus. What up, Kiona? How you been? And I'm like sitting there and I'm like, oh, fuck, this dude ain't coming to pick me up. He ain't working today. I fucking jumped in the car and spent the work. I mean, it was still pretty early, but I totally fucking forgot you were off. Let's pick it up a little bit. All right, so Maxie wanted me to. She saw something on Facebook she wanted me to talk about, and it's something that I covered in the "I'm losing my hair, but my beard is glorious" episode. I believe episode number 5. The Ken doll has a man bun. Yeah, Barbie and Ken. The Ken doll has a fucking man bun. Yeah, you working today, then let's ride, man. Let's ride. Get that carpool. So, I did tell her, I was like, yeah, I spoke about the man bun, the high man bun. So it's like, I don't know if you can see. So I got I got like 30 plus inches of hair. So I got it tied up, double tied in the back. Most people never even realize I have a lot of fucking hair. But it's when you put the man bun up here, the little fruity samurai bun, that shit ain't cool. So the fucking Ken doll has a man bun. You having another one? Congratulations. We're good over here. We stuck with number 1. I think number 1 is going to be the last one. Well, you never know. Anything could happen. Things could change. But that's good. I'm very happy for you. Yeah. So Ken has a man bun. I'm not really too surprised about this. Shelly Ann, what up, Shelly? Give me some love. Giving you some love, some thumbs up. I'm not surprised about Ken having a man bun. I mean, let's get serious. Are you surprised? I mean, I don't have a daughter, so maybe I'm a little naive in this area, but who's really buying Barbie dolls anymore? I remember my stepmom, well, unofficially my stepmom, my dad's ex-fiance, she passed away a few years back. But her and her family, they collected the Barbie dolls, like a huge collection of like all the rarest Barbie dolls and shit. What up, Brockdorf? So, I don't know. I just think like buying Barbie dolls, I don't know. Maybe for some of you that have, okay, so Shelly's saying, all right, your girls don't even have Barbies, right? But I don't know. I thought buying Barbie dolls was like 90s. Like that was gone in the 90s. So I'm not surprised Ken has a man bun because they're trying to reinvigorate that buyer base. And I mean, you got to fill the void with something. So why not a bunch of trendy douches? So, Ken with a man bun? Whatever. He still got no balls. So are you really surprised that he has a man bun now? Still got nothing but the little vag slit in the front. It's weird. Real fucking weird. Don't be buying no goddamn Barbie dolls. Alright, cuz, see you later, man. Check back into this video, because like I said, I watched yesterday's episode when I got home just to check on, make sure the feed was good, the lighting was good. I was dying laughing out loud. I was cracking myself up. So I hope the people who keep coming back and tuning in, yeah, he will have a romper on next, are being entertained. So as I was browsing the interwebs yesterday, on my Facebook feed, you know, you get those bullshit advertisements. I saw LED eyelashes. Has anybody seen LED eyelashes? Yo, the fucking girls look stupid enough wearing these fucking things. They got them on these little beta male fucking dudes. And they're just like, it's fucking ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. LED eyelashes. What, I mean, why? Why do we have LED eyelashes? That's fucking retarded. Other than maybe like a safety standpoint, you're a nighttime jogger, you don't want to wear the stupid reflective vest, so you put on your LED eyelashes and you just be blinking yourself into safety. Don't be wearing no LED eyelashes to work. First of all, you know you're not allowed to. No LED eyelashes. We will make fun of you, and we will rip you apart, and you will deserve it. But even from a safety standpoint, like midnight jogger, if a car's coming from behind you and you got your safety LED eyelashes on, it's not really gonna fucking matter. And I would have to think that like every time it blinks, it blinds you for like just a half a second. That shit can't be good. That can't be good. I don't even know how they power them. It's weird. I think they have like a little wire that comes around here, and it looked like it wrapped over your ear. There's probably like a little battery there. But eventually it's just gonna like plug in inside of your fucking brain. You know, once we get Google Brain released. Yeah. No real reason anybody should wear LED eyelashes, says Brockdorf, and I agree. Could not agree more. So that's some stupid shit that I saw. Don't really understand. Whatever. It's like, you know, these fads, they're coming, they're going. We had fads back in my day, which seem pretty fucking stupid now. So I remember Janko jeans. Who remembers Jankos? The fucking, the straight pant leg that's like 50 inches wide, so when you're walking around, look like your legs stuck in a fucking chimney. Fucking weird shit that we used to wear. So I guess, you know, it just keeps going around and around and around. Solar powered eyelashes. Yeah, fucking wind powered. The more you blink, the brighter they get. You know, we gotta stop giving them ideas, because you're gonna see this shit on your fucking, on your news feed, guaranteed. So stupid. What about UFOs? Now, I liked UFOs. I had 2 pairs of UFOs when I was in high school. I had the green pair, right? And then they had like the straps in the cargo pocket. You let them suckers hang out. And then like some of them, they had like the little straps on the inside where you could like roll your pant leg up and like button them up. Those things were cool, man. I used to love the UFOs. You know, back in high school, I was experimenting, lots of experimenting. That's when I did mine. I did my experimenting on the public dime in high school. But, you know, I haven't seen a pair of UFOs probably since I wore them. The best part about UFOs, I'll tell you a quick story about me wearing UFOs, capitalizing on that extra space. So, me and my boys, we used to go to the Chinese buffet, right? Whichever one, pick one. And I used to get the big ass freezer Ziploc bags, and I put one in each of my cargo pockets. And then knowing that I was only gonna be able to eat like so much, and like, you know, that shit was like $15, I would legit get a plate of like sweet and sour chicken, and then when the waitresses and shit, they weren't looking, I fucking scoop that shit down into my pocket in the Ziploc bag, and I walk out of there with like 5 pounds of sweet and sour chicken in my pocket. I can almost bet you some people are watching this like, oh shit, that's a good idea. They going to buy some motherfucking UFOs, line them shits with freezer bags, and go into the buffet. What up, Coil? What's happening? So that shit is funny. Switch it. yo, man, I'm working on it. I know I'm fat. I'm working on it. So switching topics a little bit. I was scrolling through my feed and shit, and I saw this video, right? This very inspirational, motivational. This video was about, and I took a couple notes because I knew I would forget. This guy named Richie Parker, right? He was born with no arms. I don't know if anybody's seen this video, and I don't remember the guy I can't remember the guy's name who shared it, but it's like this guy, he shares all sorts of motivational videos. And this dude is born with no arms, and he works for, I should have wrote it down. I don't know. He's a race car engineer. Dude, no fucking arms. Race car engineer. He legit designs like almost all their parts. And we're talking about NASCAR racers, like legit, like it's one of the best known companies, racing companies. And of course, I didn't write that fucking down. But anyway, see you later, Jen. Anyway, this motherfucker got no arms, right? So they're going through the story, and they're talking to some of the guys that work there, and they're like, yeah, when we heard this guy was coming, we were like, okay, yeah, but what's he gonna do? This guy ain't got no arms. What's he gonna do? I mean, we legit build fucking race cars. So he does, and I guess he's been there for like 8 years. He does all their CAD drawings, right? So he engineers all their new parts and, that they put on the car, and he does it all on the computer. So he keeps his keyboard under the desk with the mouse and, flips his shoes off and just gets to work. And the guy's a fucking animal. He's a beast. And, as the story goes, it was just something that he wanted to do, his whole life. Probably, of course, everybody's telling him he ain't gonna be shit. He ain't got no arms. His parents, very supportive parents. Extremely important to have that support system in the home, with both parents if possible. We all know things happen. Doesn't always work out that way. I'm from a broken home. But very important to have both parents in the house if possible. Because that support system right there was probably enough to get him motivated to follow his dreams of being a race car engineer. This guy got no fucking arms, and he is working for one of the best known racing companies in the fucking world. And he's a beast. He's killing it. So that's just something I wanted to share with you. His name is Richie Parker. Born with no arms. He had, it's called bilateral amelia. And it was just a non-genetic birth defect he just happened to be born with. And whatever, man, that guy's killing it. He's got a dope-ass Chevelle. I think it was a Chevelle he's driving. Motherfucker hops in, puts his chin down on the shifter, shifts the fucking thing in the drive, and takes off. I don't know how he's steering now. I don't know if he's just steering with the knee. You know how like people are doing when they're trying to eat a cheeseburger? Or, trying to text a late night girlfriend and shit. But whatever, man, the guy's he's doing it. He's doing it. So key takeaway from that is there's nothing you can't do. This segues into something that I wanted to talk about, although I wasn't really prepared. But anyway, nothing that you can't do. You're born with no arms, as Jocko Willink would say. Good. You had a shitty day. Good. You coming up against an obstacle that seems impossible to beat. Good. You fell down, you got your ass beat in a fight. Good. All those are opportunities to become stronger, to learn from yourself. Let's boost it up while we're talking about motivation. Good. All those are opportunities. So something that I wanted to talk about, personal to me, is not talking yourself out of opportunities. And what do I mean? I guess I'll just spell it out for you. I'm doing very well at my job. I'm in a nice, comfy position, making decent money, work with some great people, work with some not so great people, nonetheless. I was approached with another opportunity in the company, different department, actually my old department, and I was basically told, I would have to still go for the interview, all that, but I'm like one of 3 people who are even being thought about, and I was the first one contacted, as far as I know. That's what I was being told, who knows. But that was like a week and a half ago, and I was told to apply for the job, got to go through the interview process, all that. There's some stipulations, some sacrifices I would have to make in the short term, and I just have to decide if that's really what I want to do. If the offer is going to be right, I might have to sacrifice in the short term my schedule and such until I go into this new position. In the long term, though, excellent opportunity. Excellent opportunity. Could not stress that enough. But it's a big change. I'm going to go from where I'm at now, 2 to 10:30 on a regular, pretty, I won't say easy job, but not as stressful as my last position. And I'm doing well. I'm doing very well where I'm at. So, there's always that comfort level also. You get into a position, and even though there might be another opportunity that could be better for you, you're comfortable in the position, you're meshing with the people you work with, and sometimes just that thought of starting over, starting new, it's like the first day of school, You get your clothes all laid out the night before, you're super excited, can't go to sleep, it's like Christmas Eve, and then you get there and you're nervous because, it's first day of school, you might not know anybody in your class. What up, Felix? Thanks for tuning in. What's up, Zach? Thanks for tuning in. Babe is telling me apply for the job. I did apply for it last night. So, but what I'm getting at is I was talking myself out of even applying for the job. I was like, do I really want to do it though? Is it going to be worth it? Is the offer going to be worth it? First of all, I don't know what the offer is. So why am I talking myself out of it? I didn't even sit down to hear the true offer. And I was putting it off. And subconsciously, I think it was intentional, but not intentional in the conscious mind. I was dealing with so much other shit, working on the Honda Pilot, working on other stuff at home, working on stuff for work in my current position. So I was busy, and I started telling myself 2 days ago, you know what, I'm not going to apply. If I really wanted it, I would have applied already. So here I am. I started talking myself out of it. I started thinking all the negatives that might come along with this change, instead of thinking of the positives. Some negatives in the short term, but the positives in the long term could be life-changing in a good way. It would be a whole nother set of responsibilities. Some stuff I'm already doing and I'm well prepared for. A lot of other stuff I would have to kind of embrace and learn through the process. But I applied for the job. I started realizing, look at me, talking myself out of what could be potentially a great opportunity for my future. Not only my career path, but for my family. And that's what it comes down to. So, don't know if I'm going to get the offer. Don't know how the interview is going to go. I fare typically well in interviews because I'm good at talking, comfortable at talking in front of people. I know some people who may have been tuning in today, not so good at the interview process. It's easy to get in your head in an interview. Now, I've been with this company 7 years. And 5 of those years I was a temp. So in 2014, I interviewed. Let me back up. 2010, they went on a hiring freeze, but I interviewed right before that hiring freeze. What up, Haley? Thanks for tuning in. And at that time, I was making music. I was doing shows with Hat Flip, my boy Moses' band, and we were having a great time. So I would be off Friday, Saturday, and we would do shows basically Friday and Saturday. And we would, yo, what up, Joe? Welcome back, sir. And Sunday, I would have to go to work, but I'd be so fucking hungover from doing Friday show, Saturday show, and typically getting trashed that I would call out on Sunday like every Sunday. And I did that. It had to be about 15 times. So I went through this interview, 2010. I should have got hired. I would have had a lot more benefits, pensions, shit like that. But interview went pretty good. And then right at the end, she's like, all right, just want to talk about this real quick. Flipped open the paper. You called out 15 times last year. Care to explain that? Not really. Not really. I don't really care to explain that. My response, legit, was two things. First thing, I had legitimate reasons to call out. All right. What up, Vic? See, you getting a little thumbs up. A little thumbs up love here. Show me some love. Give me some thumbs. What was I talking about? I had legit reasons to call out, right? I'm trying to eat clean. And my second response to that, wrong fucking response to that, was, but put it this way. If I was full-time, I would have got paid for all those days off. Yeah, guess what? Didn't get the fucking job because whatever I was feeling that day got into my head and allowed me to say some stupid shit like that. But as far as the interview process itself, I'm very comfortable with the interview process. I had that one. Then I interviewed in 2014 when I got hired on full-time. I interviewed for the job I was already doing, so it was really no big surprise. Then a year after that, I was dying in the fucking department I was in. Situation was not good with my schedule and forced overtime and all that shit. So I interviewed out. Now, the first interview I went on, I got blocked. The guy wanted to hire me, and my manager and others put the kibosh on that. Said, nah, you can't hire him. Okay, fuck that. I went on another interview, which the position they blocked me for would have been a lateral move. It wouldn't have been a promotion. It just would have been a different department, probably a better schedule. Excuse me, starting to get my sweat out. Let's check the time. Sweating at 23 minutes already? Woo! I didn't even get to all my topics. Anyway, so interview process for me, very easy, okay? I don't want to say very easy, but I'm very comfortable with it. I know some people who just fold. They fold in that process. I don't really understand it. I know it's nerve-wracking. Could be a lot on the line. But the way I look at it is this. There's a lot on the line. You got a lot to lose if you don't get it. You have a lot to gain if you get it. See you later, Vic. So what you got to do is embrace that moment, embrace your strengths, and just tell them what you know. You don't lie, you don't make shit up. If you don't know something, you don't know something. Believe me, that's respected way more than making up some bullshit. So, my advice to people who have a hard time in interviews is always this. First of all, you want to make eye contact. More than likely, it's going to be more than one person in that interview. Meaning, be more than one person interviewing you for the job. Okay? Some of them you may know, may have good relationships with. Some of them you may not. Anyway, you want to make eye contact. You don't want to make creepy eye contact like, I'm ready to answer those questions. Now, you want to make legit eye contact. There's nothing worse than talking to somebody and they won't even look at you. You feel disrespected. Other thing I would say is you want to make them laugh. Now, I've been thinking about doing an episode on laughter, the power of funny, and maybe I'll do that tomorrow, so I don't want to get too into it. But you want to make them laugh, this is what I say, make them laugh, make them cry. That's pretty much it. You make them laugh, it gets a lot easier from that point out. Now, you don't want to crack a joke on somebody like you're roasting them, but you'll figure it out. There's ways to slip in a funny. You want to slip that funny in there. It's going to make it a lot easier, okay? And you want to be prepared. So you don't got to crunch like it's a fucking SAT. Excuse me. But you do want to be prepared. So just review your resume. Review the things that you're saying with that they're going to ask. You know they're going to ask you about this. Oh, you went to school for this. Okay, tell me about that. Oh, you did this in your previous job. Tell me about that. So I went to school for recording arts. That does not translate to what I do now at all. But what I say is, what's up, Stacy? Thanks for tuning in. What I say is, you got to draw the correlation. What up, Brandon? Thank you for tuning in. You got to draw the correlation. So what I did, just as an example, and so I went to school. I went to Full Sail. It's basically a technical art school. I went for recording engineering. What I do now, no connection whatsoever. But you still got to draw a correlation because they're going to ask you about it. And it's on your fucking resume for a reason. So one, I did some higher learning. That looks like I'm committed to something. Okay, that's a good look. But you got to draw the correlation. So what I said was, I work in an environment now where documentation is everything. I mean, I work in a GMP environment, and there are certain strict practices for documenting. Something that you learn when you're engineering is attention to detail and documentation. Now, you may be working with equipment, and if you're working with some good equipment, chances are it's older equipment. It's not motorized, it's not automated. So if I got a big ass mixing board and I got a shitload of equipment on the rack, compressors, reverbs, delays, all sorts of shit, and I got a session coming, I'm working on a session, you would have to, if you had another session coming in and you have to zero everything out, when that previous session comes back, you need all your equipment to be set exactly the way it was set. So you legitimately take a piece of paper, print out, and you mark where each knob is facing, what level each switch is at, so on and so forth. So the attention to detail is a must. And that's how I drew the correlation from my schooling that has no connection at all to my job. And honestly, I think it went over pretty well. I got hired. I went after I got blocked on that one interview. I stumbled into another interview. Not stumbled, but you know what I'm saying. And it was a promotion. I wound up getting that job. That's the position I'm in now. It wound up working out in my favor. But it would have been easy enough for me to talk myself out of it, like I was trying to do with this new opportunity. I said, fuck that. I'm going for the interview. As long as they call me for it, I'm going. And we'll see what happens. You don't know. Could be a bullshit opportunity, a bullshit offer, not worth the headache, the sacrifice in the short term. Could be an amazing offer, worth the sacrifice in the short term. Get through it, get into that new position. Okay. Whew. Capitalize. Do not talk yourself out of opportunity. Don't do it. You are your worst enemy. You get in your own way too much. I do it to me. And it's weird. In the morning, I'll be ambitious. I'll be motivated. I'll be ready to capitalize on those opportunities. By the time I get through a full days of work and I get home and I'm just chilling and relaxing, something happens with my mind where I'm just like, fuck it. I don't need that. You wake up the next day and going, what the hell was I talking about? Of course I need that. That's a good opportunity. So get out of your own way, first and foremost. Okay. That covers that. Any questions about the lecture so far. Now, I know yesterday's episode was funny. This is a little more oh shit, we're done already? Wow. That's the one thing about doing this. 268 calories. What time is it? 12:28. You know what I'm gonna do? Because I ain't done yapping. We're getting back in it. Hold up, give me 1 second. I'm gonna do like another 10. Put in my fat ass body weight. We're gonna do another 10. Alright, here we go. Sorry for that. Let's boost it back up. I am extremely happy I fucking bought this Stairmaster. Good deal. Kicking my ass. Okay. Something else I want to talk about. Kind of like a more serious topic. In local news, very recently, there was I believe he was 4 years old. He was about the same age as my son. He wound up getting a hold of, I'm assuming, one of his parents' firearms. And he wound up shooting himself and killing himself. Extremely sad. Very, very sad. Now, there's a lot of local people commenting on this. The boy's viewing and/or funeral is coming up. And my mother-in-law just told me, like, yeah, there's a lot of people talking about it on Facebook, and they've been saying things like, if you're coming to protest or cause trouble, you'll be escorted out and all this shit. Now, I've seen a lot of people very upset about this, and rightfully so. We do not know the full story. What we can assume is this much, though, and which is why people are fucking pissed off. First of all, this young child should not have been able to get a hold of that firearm. Now, I will say this. If you have a pistol, a 4-year-old is very weak, and as long as it's not loaded and then a bullet is chambered, I would assume, although it's certainly not enough as far as safety goes, and especially with a child's life, I would assume that a little baby arm, they wouldn't be able to rack that back and chamber a bullet, shoot themselves. That is certainly not advice to lay guns around the house as long as they're not chambered. No. If you are a firearm owner and you are a legal firearm owner, you are well aware of the laws and the safety steps that you have to take. So I own firearms, and I keep mine locked up in a safe. Locked up in a safe at all times. Now, is it possible that there was some carelessness involved here? Certainly. It certainly seems that way. Again, we don't live there, we don't know. But if this child was able to get his hands on the gun, then it was not being properly secured at all. If you have a gun and you don't have a safe, almost every gun that you buy brand new, especially pistols, will come with a trigger lock. And you basically put a lock in there, and then you can't pull the trigger, no matter, no how, no way. But the fact that people are thinking about going to this boy's viewing to cause a ruckus and protest, no. I understand you're angry. I understand you're upset. Being a father deeply saddens me to hear that this boy lost his life for no reason. But his funeral is not the place to protest. Not at all. Do that shit somewhere else. You don't think his parents, whoever was watching over him, is already dying inside from this? You got yourself wrong. Should they be held responsible for being careless? Yes, I do believe so. But I'm sure they love that child, and they are dying inside, and probably on the outside, and they're going through some turmoil. So I pray for them, but carelessness is no excuse. You have to So, Christy saying, did you hear about 4-year-old who found a loaded gun in his toy box during a warranted home search by police? I did not. That could be two things. One, I wonder if it was a legal gun. If not, probably saw the cops coming through it in the toy box. They ain't gonna look in the toy box, right? Why would they do that? Okay, that's one scenario. The other scenario is they thought that's a good place to store a fucking gun. Negative. No. If you have a small child in the house, okay, you don't have a safe, you don't have a trigger lock, fucking go get one. But you could put that shit somewhere where that kid will never fucking reach it. Put it in the fucking attic, you know? Put it in the motherfucking on top of the, I don't even want to say on top of the fridge, put it up somewhere so fucking high that that kid will never be able to climb up there and get it. Without any shadow of a doubt. But you should have a safe, and you should have a fucking trigger lock, and you should have that shit locked up. Now, I know, because I had this thought myself, is, well, I don't want to have a trigger lock on it and in the safe. What if I need that shit, somebody breaks in the house, I gotta react quickly. Well, guess what? These are things that you're gonna have to deal with. And these are also things you're gonna have to be prepared for. So if you know your gun is locked up in a safe, practice, run through the scenario. Somebody's breaking in the house, practice going to get that key, unlocking that safe, getting that gun ready, getting your family into a safe position. Run through those scenarios. We don't do that here, but maybe we should. And certainly when my son gets old enough, he's only 3 now, a couple more years, we will be teaching him how to use a firearm, but more importantly and firstly, firearm safety. Most people who do not agree with firearms, or people owning them, have never fucking learned about them, have never gone through a safety course, have never shot one. 9 times out of 10, you will become a firearm owner after you learn the safety and after you fire one. It is a rush like no other. And it's the force equalizer, they call it. Let's say you're a young lady, 100 pounds, you walk in, you go to the ATM, you got 2 big ass dudes, maybe they're armed, maybe they're not. Chances are you're gonna get fucked up, you might get raped, you're probably gonna get robbed. There's no way you're gonna be able to get them off you. 2 big ass fucking dudes. Now if that same girl, 100 pounds, soaking wet, owns and knows how to operate their firearm, that's a force equalizer. She now has the opportunity to save her own life, to not get raped, to not get robbed, and hopefully, possibly, stop it from happening from somebody else. So extremely important that you understand the pros and the cons, safety and usage of a firearm, whether you own one or not. It's so upsetting though. I could only imagine. I literally started crying because anytime something like this happens, I think of my son, and it's horrible. On the same topic, let me check the time. I got 2 minutes, okay? Slow it down a little bit. Who remembers Philando Castile? I believe he was killed, I think it was last year now. But he was a legal firearm owner. He got pulled over allegedly for a busted brake light. They just released the video footage from the dash cam. And as far as I understand, they pull him over, say, hey, we pulled you over for busted taillight. You got 1 cop on the passenger side, kind of eyeing shit out. He's got his girlfriend and their daughter in the car, probably like 5 years old. What up, Teddy? Thanks for tuning in. I'm coming to a close here, though. He asked him to grab his wallet. Now, from her reports, he keeps his wallet in the back right pocket. And he let them know. He's like, okay, I'm going to grab my wallet, but I do want to let you know that I have a firearm in the car. Cop says, all right, well, don't go grabbing for it. And I guess he's like, okay. I don't know where the firearm was located in the vehicle, but they just put about 6 shots into him. And when I say that, it was really just a cop on the driver's side. So I don't know if he thought that he was grabbing for the gun, if the gun was already visible, if he was already in motion to take his wallet out to give his identification over. And he's screaming, don't move, don't move, don't move, after he shot him 7 times. He wound up dying. I just watched the video. Very troubling, to say the least. In the same regard, you are not that cop, you were not in that situation. There are things that you can do, and maybe we're not getting a full picture from the stories and from the video, but there are things you could do. Wait, the DA's charging the cop? I thought he got off. Charging him after the first shot? That's interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. There's things you could do. So I prepare myself all the time. If I have my firearm in the vehicle with me, 1, always have your carrying permit if it's required in your state. And 2, always make it known that you have that firearm in your car. You could handle this 2 ways. You can get pulled over, some speeding, whatever the fuck it is. You could hand over your license. You know you got your gun locked up in the glove box. If you have your carrying permit in Pennsylvania, you can carry your gun in the car loaded. If you do not have your carrying permit, this is not legal advice. Check the fucking laws. If you don't have your carrying permit, if you're transporting your gun in the vehicle in Pennsylvania, you have to have the gun unloaded and the ammo completely separate. So most of the time, gun in the glove box, ammo in the glove box, gun in the trunk, ammo in the trunk, whatever. But there's things you could do. So you either press your luck and say nothing and hope you get your ticket, you go on your fucking way. Now I'm pretty sure they could run that shit and it comes up that you have a firearm carrying permit, concealed carry permit, right? CCP, CCF, whatever the fuck it's called. So you play it the other way. Keep your fucking hands on the wheel. 10 and 2. Bam. Just want to let you know, officer, that I have a firearm and I have my carrying permit. And just please let me know how you would like me to proceed. Because I'm not going to go grabbing at that point for my ID. Chances are this dude is going to shoot me. White, black, Spanish, don't fucking matter. Believe me, these dudes have fucking targets on their heads. They don't know who's crazy, who's not, who's going to kill them, who's not. You got a half a second to make that decision. And there's plenty of videos out there where they show you. They put a regular person in that position and put them in a scenario to make that choice. Almost never make the right decision. So, I'm not saying this guy was right. I'm just saying there's a lot more to the situation than you might realize. You ask him how you want to proceed. Chances are he will ask you to get out of the car or ask you where the firearm is and then go and retrieve that firearm. Comply. Now, I am in no way... Let me see, how do we word this? Sorry, I'm like sinking here on the step. You have to comply. You do. You just gotta fucking comply. If you have a firearm in the car, you comply. You do what they ask you to because you want to make it home. You know what I'm saying? Shuttle comes at 1. Alright, I'm gonna get this thing wrapped up. I gotta get ready for work. Moral of the story is, there's a lot more to the situation than we probably know. But if you are a firearm owner, it is your responsibility to be responsible and to understand the laws. Ignorance is no excuse. That's what the cops always say to you. And that's what people say to the cops when they're calling them out and they know their fucking rights and their laws. If you have a gun in the car, chances are you're just going to want to comply if you want to make it home for dinner. Okay, I know that was a more serious episode today, but I hope we got something out of it. I burned 266, let me see. No, it already cleared out. I burned like 268 calories plus the 10 minutes. I don't know, maybe like another 40 fucking calories. What's up, Alyssa? Sorry, but we are wrapping this show up today. Again, as always, thank you for tuning in. And as always, if you want to talk about something in particular, leave it in the comments of this video below. And I will probably be back tomorrow. The car parts came in for the Honda Pilot, so guess who's going to be up late tonight? Hopefully, I get this shit put back together so I get my fucking truck back. I don't like not having my truck, which is a topic for another episode. Alright, thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned. thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for your support. And thank you for being beautiful, San Diego. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Peace out.